have you with us this morning. I'm John Coriel, one of the spiritual practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Cape Coral, Florida. And good to have you with us this morning. We are the clicker is not clicking, is it? There we are. We have some slides which will present us, and wherever you are on your spiritual path, we do welcome you. Good to have you here. We believe we are co-creators with the divine, and that you can change your entire life by changing your mind, by changing the thinking that you use. Easy as that. Ernest Holmes is the founder of our philosophy, and we teach the universal truths found in all spiritual teachings, both traditional and contemporary. Please visit our website at cslcapecoral.org for prayer requests, or you can use the Contact Us tab to send us your comments or questions that you might have. Today's meditation is facilitated by a young lady who is just recently, how should we say, re-licensed herself. She was licensed under the Agape Church out in California and is now a Center for Spiritual Living, officially, shall we say. She always has been, but please welcome Linda Lloyd.
Good morning. Welcome to meditation. Here we come together to rest in God. We're returning home, returning to love, resting in peace. I like to think of meditation as the great undoing, because it's actually not really an activity of doing. It's officially not really a verb. It's not an action. It is a state of being where we are connected, or we reconnect, for we've always been connected to God, and therefore to our divinity, which is also our oneness. In meditation, we retreat from the world of effects, that outside world, and we reconnect to our conscious intention of resting with the spirit within. Here we access peace, love, joy, intuition, insights, and guidance that are ever available to us. In meditation, we practice returning to our natural state of awareness, pure being, and letting go of the doingness of the personality. We are returning home, communing with Spirit. This is a state of resting from the doingness of the mind and the activities of life, and allowing pure being to just simply be. Here, we revitalize, reboot, and refresh. This can seem difficult sometimes, but it's actually very easy once you get the hang of it. As we stop trying to do or attain anything, that is our biggest obstacle. So let us settle in and take a nice deep breath together. And just letting go of all the busyness of the morning, everything that came before this moment, all anticipation of future moments, as we become fully present to the presence, this beautiful breath of life that is breathing us, beating our hearts, this presence of life itself. consciously move out of our heads, down into the body, to our heart space, opening wide the shutters of our heart, letting love in and out, melting into this field of love, this love that is everywhere present, that is fully orbed and expressing right here, right now. With our next breath, breathe in consciously to that available, revitalizing life force. A deep breath, allowing it to fill your whole body as the belly expands like a balloon. And with the release, just letting go of all the old stagnant energy and anything that is no longer serving us. We just let it go with each breath. Each breath in, filling ourselves with the spirit of life, intentionally welcoming it. And each breath out, letting go, letting God have its way. Now bring your awareness to your body, all the way down to the toes, as if you are breathing in through your feet. Breathe in the energy from the earth and scan the body temple. Follow the energy all the way up the body, noticing if there's any tension along the way. And if there is, just simply breathe into it, consciously letting go, following that breath all the way up to the top of the head and back down through the body, all the way down to the toes. Bring us deeper within. Now tense up the body. Take your fists and squeeze the whole body temple. And then with an out breath, just let it all go. Relaxing into our chairs, bringing our awareness back to our heart, moving down into our solar plexus, just beneath the heart. See if you can feel your life pulse. Here we melt into this field of love. For truly, we don't begin and end at our skin, this outer covering of this body temple. We are truly part of the world in which we live, move, and have our being. So we just allow this love energy to revitalize, refresh. Just breathing. Here there is no place to go, nothing to do. Simply being in love together. Breathing in and breathing out. Leaning into spirit. And here, we ask the question of our inner self. What do you want to express as me today? And just pay attention to the first thing that comes to mind. Take note of them and set the intention to let them unfold as the activity of your day. Now ask, what is the highest vision for my life? Be still. Listen. Like the universe has a secret for you. Be open to the possibilities, the potentialities. Just open. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just listening. Allowing gratitude to well up in our hearts for these divine insights, for this refreshing time and this stillness. Is there anything else I need to know for this day, for its perfect divine unfoldment as my life? How good it is to just be still. To just be. Ever so slowly and gently, bring your awareness back to the breath. Notice breathing in and breathing out. This precious breath of life. Notice the support under you, the chair you're sitting in, the floor your feet are resting upon. And ever so slowly and gently, becoming aware of the room, your beautiful neighbors sitting next to you. And when you're ready, ever so slowly and gently, opening your eyes. Namaste. Service will begin shortly.
Ah, marvelous, huh? Marvelous. Yes, yes, yes. What a wonderful, wonderful meditation there to bring to mind the idea of less doingness and more beingness. I like that. And I thought we'd kick things off here with some marvelous music from John, Cassie, Colette, Brian, Joe, and Matt, the Big Love Band. Let's make them welcome.
All right. You know you got to dance with us, right?
We're gonna get y'all to stand and join us. Hello.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see.
Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart.
And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. And I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart.
Each and every day,
Put a little love in your heart.
there's got to be a better
Put
way.
a little love in your heart.
Don't you think it's time that you
Put a little love in your
heart? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone under dark clouds had me bound. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. Oh yeah, blue skies, yeah. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone under dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
There we go. I could see a lot of you out there dancing, having a good time here to that great sound, indeed. We have a blessing, and since everybody's already standing, this is marvelous. We're going to bless each other and say, good to have you here. And you can, as it says, remain standing and bestow this blessing on one another and everyone out in online, wherever you may be. We say together, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the center. And now we have some more music. Miss Cassie and Colette are going to do the honors for us.
Spirit flows through me like a melody, ancient and brand new, for the song is you. May our people hear strains so sweet and clear. Let your joy come through, for the song is you.
I will be the instrument you play. Bring your sweet music to me each and every day.
For what joy I know to be in the flow. Every note rings true when the song is you. Spirit flow through me.
I will be the instrument you play. Bring your sweet music to me each and every day. For what joy I know to be in the flow. Every note rings true when the song is you. Every note rings true when the song is you.
Amazing. What joy we know to be in the flow indeed. I am Linda Lloyd, officially now a affiliated licensed practitioner of Centers for Spiritual Living.
And to welcome our wonderful Linda here, we are going to do a changing of the stoles. It is official.
Thank you. I feel like I've been born again. Thanks, everyone. When I was out in California, I actually graduated from Fort Myers High School. I'll actually even tell you, 1981. And I moved to Tampa when I was like 18 years old and went to college. And I met someone who moved to California and invited me to go there. And so I went there and went to college and loved living in California. And I studied at Agape International Spiritual Center. And we all took on our sayings and favorite quotes. And mine was I don't know, I guess it's a quote more than a poem from T.S. Eliot that states that we never cease traveling and on our journey, that we return home to the place where we began and we see it for the very first time. And so I have made my circle from Fort Myers out to California, out to New Mexico, actually back to Florida, back to California, and back to Florida again. And so I have truly come home to see and enjoy this place for the very first time. So I am so very grateful to have the honor and privilege of giving you this reading today. So our theme for this month is Pulled by a Vision, which is actually a big thing at Agape International Spiritual Center. Everything is done through visioning. Every activity, and they have a visioning for the center once a month. We are doing that now here at our center, and actually we're going to have a group visioning very soon. We have a little core that's been visioning once a week. So today's topic is your commitment greater than your resistance? Today's reading is from the notes for this week's topic from Centers for Spiritual Living Home Office. Are you ready to be transformed by the renewing of your mind? Are you ready to embody something completely different and unrecognizable? Principle is never bound by precedent. It seems as humans, we have a tendency to slip into possibility theory once we have clarity about our vision. That is, we have the tendency of viewing the vision in the context of past events and circumstances and trying to bring lessons learned forward to assist in unfolding our vision safely and successfully. Such a perspective, though, limits us from stepping into a wholly new experience of possibility. Our vision is a mystical glimpse of infinite possibility urging itself into expression through and as us. True transformation renders the previous version wholly unrecognizable. Just as something within the caterpillar compels it to attach itself to a twig, spin its own cocoon, and then completely release the physical form and caterpillar identity to realize its butterfly identity and form. Vision pulls us and compels us to surrender our human identity, our idea of ourselves. Vision pulls us ever closer to God's commitment and is it greater than your resistance? That is greater than your resistance. Faith is the belief in the substance of things not seen, not a guaranteed replica of our mental prototype. The substance is the unformed God stuff out of which everything is made, including you. The call to action for today's topic is in the question. Are you willing to trust that which already made you perfect to manifest itself as an even greater expression of life as you than you could ever imagine? Are you willing to move from probability to possibility? And finally, are you willing to lift your anchor, to surrender control, and to dive into the depths of your greater yet to be? Sounds like fun to me. Let's take that into prayer. So letting go of everything that came before this moment, we dive into this eternal now in gratitude. I'm so grateful for this moment to pause once again, to anchor in the divine remembrance that God is all there is. It is all that is in the invisible and all that is visible, the all in all. And I know that I am an integral, important part of that God stuff. And as I know this for myself, I know this for each one here in this room and beyond. That we are all that God stuff, expanding, expressing, knowing, loving, and being more and more of itself. So it is from that place and that space that I bless this time together, this service, knowing it unfolds, it continues to unfold, for it already is divinely perfect. And just knowing that this day is indeed blessed and a blessing unto each one of us. And I am so grateful and thankful to know this and to anchor this with you. And I invite you to join me in anchoring these truths with the words, and so it is. Thank you. I think I'm supposed to welcome Reverend Gregory, who is those of you who may be new, we are in a transition of ministers right now, and Reverend Gregory is our interim minister, and he is incredibly amazing. He comes to us from California via the modern technology, and so please give him a warm.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, CSL Cape Coral. We've already had a lot of church here this morning. I'm really enjoying myself. I was over here dancing and swaying, and beautiful music by the Big Love Band, beautiful meditation by Linda Lloyd, beautiful duet by Colette and Cassie. What a beautiful start to the morning already. My goodness, I feel already lifted up and inspired just coming in here to be with you. So good to be with all of you. And as Linda said, that we're the community's in transition, but we're always in transition. The appearance would be that just because right now it's obvious that the community is in transition, but the reality is we're always in transition. Everything is always in motion. Everything is always in movement. But before I jump too far into this, I want to congratulate Linda. It's beautiful that she is now officially a licensed practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living, and I thank you, Linda, for taking that step to affiliate and fill out the application and do the paperwork and jump through whatever the hoops that it took. And Linda coming from the Agape International Spiritual Center, which used to be a part of Centers for Spiritual Living, and then they caught a different vision, and we're still friends with them, and we still do things with them and collaborate with them, and they offer a really great training. They train really good practitioners, and so we're very fortunate that Linda has affiliated with CSL, and now that she's official, and so we can list her as one of our practitioners. So let's give Linda another hand and welcome her into the practitioner body here. Yes, thank you. And I can see many of you. You know, there is a camera focused out into the audience, so that feels good to be looking out there and seeing you all. And as Linda said, today's topic is your commitment greater than your resistance? Is your commitment greater than your resistance? And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what is this thing called resistance. And so you know, and I love the synchronicity of how the service is unfolding this morning, because Linda, in her meditation, talked about relaxing and then clenching your fist. And that clenched fist is really a good representation of what resistance looks like, of what resistance is when we're clenched, right? When we're holding on, when we're tightening up. And so I want to just have a little experiential of that this morning. You guys are already warmed up. I saw many of you swaying to the music and dancing out there. So I want you just for a moment to notice your body. I want you to notice how your body is feeling, and notice any places in your body where there might be tension, any places in your body where you might feel constriction. And I just want you to notice that for a moment and take a breath. Take a breath and just notice your body this morning, and give thanks for these great bodies that we have, regardless of whether we have judgments about it or whether we think some things work really well in our bodies and other things maybe not as well, or whatever. Just for this moment, our body got us here this morning. We're living in this body. We're experiencing life in this body. Let's just give thanks for these bodies for a moment here. And just take a moment to, if you do notice any areas of tension or constriction, just see if you can open that area up. Just not necessarily even physically, but just with your intention of sending love, and just see if you can open your space this morning in your body. See if you can open your heart, open all of your energy centers, just scanning from the crown of your head down to the toes of your feet. Just see if you can just invite yourself to just open, to open. Because life is about flow. Everything is always in motion. We're on a planet that is hurtling through space. And not only is it hurtling through space, it is rotating on its axis at the same time. So any illusion that things are not in motion or that we're not in transition is an illusion. We see the seasons take place. We see change taking place constantly. Our bodies are in motion. Our cells are in motion. Our breath is moving. Our heart is beating every moment, every moment, every moment. We are in motion, and we are meant to be in motion. So as you open up those bodies, I'm going to invite you, if it's comfortable for you, I'm going to invite you to allow yourself to rise, to stand, and begin to see what it feels like. If it's comfortable for you, you can remain seated if it's not comfortable, and that's totally okay. But if it's comfortable, maybe come out of your comfort zone and see if you can move into what looks like flow for you. What looks like flow for you, where you're not constricted, you're not holding on, you're not tensing up. See if you can move into what looks like flow for you. You might even spin around a little bit, right? You might, see what that feels like. See if you can be a little bit free with yourself this morning, right? I see someone's arms are in the air and moving like that. Just see what it's like to be in flow, to move with life, because life is moving in us, and life is moving all around us. So anything that has us be rigid has us not be moving with life and in the flow of life. So just take a moment here. We'll just take a couple more moments just to feel what it's like to flow. You could even move a couple steps to the left and a couple steps to the right, and move, let's just feel what it feels like, and see if you possibly can even feel what's moving in you. Right? What's moving in you? What's trying to happen through you? Linda talking about visioning, right? Where we're catching a vision of what wants to happen through us. What's trying to happen through us? What great vision wants to be manifest through you? And let's see if we can move with that. Let's see if we can move with what's wanting to happen through us, what's wanting to express through us. Yes, yes, yes. And when you feel complete, I invite you to be seated again. sorry to ask you to be seated now. We could just continue right along this path here. We could get the Big Love Band back up and to get them playing some music, and we could just dance for the rest of the service. So good to be with you this morning and to talk about our commitment, and is our commitment stronger than our resistance? Because we catch this vision, we catch something that's moving in us, something that wants to be expressed through us, something that wants to happen through us. Divinity wants to happen through us. Some great divine idea wants to constantly be expressed through us. There's never a moment where life isn't wanting to express something through us. Sometimes it might be just wanting to express being, just being love, just being joy, just being, right? But there's always something moving in us, right? Because life is in motion. Thank you for participating in that with me. As we catch these visions, we have to be aware of this thing called resistance, because resistance of any sort causes and creates a blockage in our field of energy. When I talk about forgiveness at the workshop later, it's going to be very similar. It's going to be a great segue when we go to talk about forgiveness in the workshop, because forgiveness really is like flow. It really is like letting go of resistance. It really is like movement. So how about that? What if forgiveness is like a dance? Then it's like not this nasty word, right? Like, oh God, I know I'm supposed to forgive. But what if forgiveness is like a dance? Let's explore that later in the workshop. But for now, this resistance, we don't, there's the scriptures. One of the members here in Cape Coral has said, I love Jesus, and you don't talk about Jesus enough. And I said, I do talk about Jesus, but I haven't talked about it yet in Cape Coral. So this morning, I've got a couple quotes from Jesus, okay? So he says that, I say to you, resist not evil, but whoever shall smite you on your right cheek, also give him your other cheek. And if any person will sue you at law and take away your coat, give him your cloak also. And then whoever shall compel you to go a mile, go 2 miles. And so what's that all about? It's like Jesus asking us to be a doormat, like just let people walk all over us, let people take advantage of us. No, this is a teaching about resistance, and it starts that way. It says, resist not, resist not. Ernest Holmes interprets that reading in this way. He says, when Jesus said, resist not, he meant that non-recognition of evil is the only way to avoid it. That this is true according to the law of cause and effect. For what we persist in recognizing, we persist in holding in place. That which we refuse to recognize, we neutralize. It is no longer there so far as we are concerned. Any resistance that we do starts to create a blockage. That's what we have to understand. It's not like, no way, no one's going to tell me what to do, or no one's going to do this, or no one's going to, but we have to recognize when we're in resistance, when we're clenching our fists, when we're clenching our body, when we're clenching our minds, we're blocking ourselves. We're moving into that field of resistance. I've had many experiences in my life where I've been able to practice this and had some amazing results because something in me, that still small voice, that divine intuition said to me to ignore my normal habitual way that I would respond to these things. Something in me said, nothing outside of you has power over you. And so I was able to do what Jesus was saying, essentially. One situation, I was working in a company and I got a new boss, and I had a really nice office at the time. And the new boss said to me, I want your office. And he was very direct with me. He's like, I want your office. That's a nice office you have. I want that office. And there was something about that didn't seem okay for me. I would just thought, like, that's not right. That, like, I wouldn't mind giving the new boss the office, but that's not right. That it felt just very, I don't know, it just didn't feel good. And so but what ended up happening is I was at that company for 2 more years after that, and I never did give up that office, but I never fought him. I never said, you are not getting this office. I never did anything like that. I never even resisted it. I just got really clear in my mind, in my consciousness, in my being. I just got really clear that this is my office. And so I don't have to resist anything. I don't have to fight anything. I just need to get clear in my consciousness of what it is I want, what it is I'm choosing, what it is I am claiming, what it is I am accepting. So we give more energy to our commitment, to that which we are committed to that which we are claiming, to that what we are accepting, than we do to the resistance. Because the resistance energy starts to give and feed the very thing that we don't want. So it's kind of, in a way, in our humanness, it's kind of counterintuitive, because we're like, oh, I got to go fight that thing over there, right? I got to give my energy to fighting that thing. But what we don't realize is we're giving energy to the very thing that we don't want. And therefore we're lifting it up. We're building it up, and we're drawing more of that to us. That was a very powerful experience for me to watch, because one of my colleagues at that company, I shared with her that the new boss wanted my office, and I said, I don't think I want to give up this office. And she said to me, well, I don't think you have a choice. In other words, like, he's the boss. But what that situation taught me is that it really is true that nothing outside of us truly has power over us. So we can let go of all of this resisting and fighting and battling, and just get clear on what it is we are claiming, what it is we are committed to, what it is we are accepting in our lives. And that powerful law of cause and effect that we know will create more of what it is we're giving our attention to. So resistance is, resistance is futile, as that show said. What we resist persists. What we resist, we lift up. What we resist, we give energy to, and we feed it, and it gets stronger and it gets bigger. So we have to learn that we really are as powerful as the Science of Mind teaching tells us, that really nothing outside of us has power over us. I had another situation where I was in line for a really great position, and I had the position, right? And the position was mine, and I was even offered the position, right? And then someone came out of left field and started bad-mouthing me and started talking badly about me and saying things. They weren't true, but they were not nice things. And so the offer actually went away. The offer actually went away. The company took the offer away. They're like, well, I don't know. We're like hearing all these things, and I was really I was kind of distraught in a way, because it was like this great opportunity. I was really excited about it. I was ready to do it, and I think I even told a few people about it, like how excited I was. And then it went away. And I knew who the person was who was bad-mouthing me. And I knew what their intention was, and I knew what their agenda was. And there was a temptation for a moment to fight it. There was a temptation to go into resistance and resist that. And again, something in me, that divine spirit, that divine intuition said, no, resist not. Don't fight it. Resist not. Know what is yours cannot be taken away. If it's yours, it will come back. And that seemed really far-fetched at the moment, by the way, when an offer is taken off of the table and it's like, no, we're not going to make you this offer. And then you go back, and I went back, and just went back to what I was doing. It doesn't seem like in that situation that no one has power over me. And it doesn't seem like I could trust, but I just let it go. I just let it go, and I expressed how I felt. So I wasn't like, like I didn't express how I felt. I expressed that I felt that it was an injustice. And then when the company called me back and said, well, what are you suggesting here? Like, I think they thought I was going to file a lawsuit or something like that. And I said, oh, I just needed to express to you how I felt. I'm complete. I don't need anything else at this time. I'm complete. I expressed to you how I felt. and I don't hold any animosity towards you. I don't see you in any lesser light than I saw you before. I just needed to share with you what that was for me, and that I felt it was an injustice. And now I'm complete, and I'm happy, and I'm good, and all is well. And again, went back to what I was doing and was happy with what I was doing. And then a month, I don't even remember exactly how much time, it was about a month or maybe even 2 months went by, and I get a phone call, and it's the person who was hiring me at this company. And the person said, I know this is going to sound really strange and all of that, but every time I think about this position, I think you're the perfect person for it. And they said, would you be willing? I know we put you through the ringer, offered it to you, took it away. We did all this. I know all that. And I'm sorry we did that. But would you consider still this position? And, I mean, I had moved on with my life. So I needed a moment. And I said, well, let me think about it for the weekend. This was on a Friday. I got the call. And I'll give you a call on Monday. Well, about an hour after the call, I was like totally excited again about the position. And I was like, well, yes, I want this. And I'm so glad it's come back. And it was more confirmation that what is ours cannot be taken away, no matter what the appearances are. So ours is not to resist. Ours is not to go in and start blocking the flow of energy, right? I mean, even if that position never came back, I was moving on with my life. I wasn't in this resistance and blocking. So something even better would have had to come about because I was still in the flow of life. Just like I invited you a moment ago to be in the flow, to see what's moving in you, what is moving in you, what wants to be expressed through you, what wants to happen through you. There is vibrant life in each one of us, vibrant life, vital energy that wants to be expressed. Every moment there is something new that wants to be expressed and given. We just go to the supermarket, right? When people from Science of Mind go to the supermarket, it's an event, right? Because people say, wow, you sure are happy. Wow, you sure have a lot of beautiful energy. Wow, there's something about you, right? We go to the supermarket and we're making a difference, right? Because that energy is moving in us, because we have that knowing that life is good and always good all the time. And life is always unfolding to the greater and the greater and the greater. And we move about life. We just got to bounce in our step, and people notice this and they say, what is this about you? Sometimes that's our greatest recruiting of getting new people into the center, is people who come up to us and say, there's something about you. Whatever you have, I want to get some of that. So is your commitment greater than your resistance? And what I would say is let go of resistance altogether. Just be in your commitment. Just be in the claiming of what it is that you are choosing for your life. And just know that nothing can get in the way of that except you and me. We can get in the way of ourselves, but nothing outside of us can get in the way, regardless of appearances. And I have so many other demonstrations of that where I just chose to not resist. It's like, resistance would suggest that I don't know the truth. Resistance would suggest that I really believe something outside of me does have power over me. And so I wasn't even able to go into resistance. It was that human part of me that said, I'm going to go fight this. No, this person can't do this to me. But then there was that greater part of me that said, why are you going to give energy to something you don't want to experience? Give your energy to that which you do want to experience, and let that expand, as opposed to giving energy and feeding that which we do not want to experience. When we catch a greater vision, as Linda was talking about at Agape, they do visioning. I love the practice of visioning. I love that you all have a vision core, and that visioning is taking place, and that community vision is going to take place. And I want to do some visioning around your next minister, right? Like catching that vision of what are the qualities of this next minister that you want to call, right? And what I love about visioning is it's not just catching a vision. I mean, that would be beautiful in itself, but it's not just catching a vision. It's also getting clear on what it is that is my part in being, not making it happen. That's the beauty of visioning, is in visioning, we're not visioning so that we can make stuff happen. We're catching a vision so that then we can become a vehicle and a vessel through which things happen. We go into the flow of this vision and we say, use me, Spirit. Use me to allow this vision to be manifest. And so we ask ourselves, what am I to become? In other words, what is moving in me and how am I to move with it as opposed to moving against it? And so we also ask, what am I to release? And the release is the resistance part. What am I to release in service to this greater vision? What am I to let go of? What would be blocking the vision? Like these old ideas of who I am and these old ideas of what life is and these old ideas of what the center is. We did that great exercise, old stories, new stories, and we let go of the old stories. That's the release part. Release the old stories, these things that we've been telling for years, decades. We release that. If they don't serve us, we release it. If it's not an idea that I want to have manifest, then we release it. Even if factually you can say, but look, I've got some facts here. Well, let go of that, because all you're doing is magnifying those facts and making them real when all they were before was just some facts on a piece of paper, right? So what we want to do is catch the vision, which is what's moving in us. It's like, what's moving in us? What wants to happen through us here? What wants to be made manifest here? And then we start to cooperate with it by aligning with that. Oh, this is calling me to expand my expression of love. This is calling me to expand my expression of peace. This is calling me to expand my expression of joy. This is calling me to step more fully into the consciousness of abundance. Whatever those things are that we're called to, and we give our attention to that and we start to align with that. We don't have to make that happen. It's already the truth of who we are. It's already true that you live in an abundant universe and all the abundance that there is right at the center of your own being. It's already true that joy is your nature and there's an infinite wellspring of joy in the center of your being. It's already true that peace is your nature and there's already an infinite wellspring of peace at the center of your being. These things are the truth of you. You don't have to make them happen. I don't have to make them happen. I just align with that truth, that which is already true about my being. And then I let go of these limitations, these beliefs in limitation, these beliefs in lack, these beliefs that don't serve me and aren't really the truth of my being. They're just things I made up at some point. Maybe I internalized something from an experience I had or from an early childhood experience with parents. Maybe parents or adults or whoever even told me things over and over again. And then I internalized them. And then I started to believe them about myself. Well, we say in Science of Mind that a principle is not bound by precedent. It doesn't care what came before. Principle's ready to activate the now. Principle's ready to become what we are right now, right? So we say you don't get what you want, you get who you are. So when we become something greater, which really is just becoming more of who we are, it's not like we're not enough, we're becoming more of who we are. So when we become more of who we are, our energy is flowing in that direction. And when our energy is flowing in that direction, this law of cause and effect, this creative medium, seizes upon that and makes it manifest in life. So today we're being called upon to focus our attention on that which is moving in us in a positive direction and to give our energy to that and to release everything else that's not true about us, no matter how much of a factual case we can build, because the facts just represent our former belief system, the former ways that we used to believe about life and the former ways we used to believe about ourselves. And then we were able to manifest all of that. So we're powerful. If you manifested a real mess in your life, just say, hey, I'm powerful. Look what I did. I manifested this huge mess. But you also are powerful in that you can manifest something different. When I was in graduate school, we had a man come and give a talk. He wrote a book called How to Lose $100 Million. And it's like, yeah, you got to be pretty powerful to lose $100 million, right? And there's a lot that you learn in that process. And so we brought this guy here. We want to hear him, right? I want to hear, wow, how someone lost $100 million. But really what we're learning is how powerful we are. We're so powerful. So I want to close with, yes, this invitation this morning to recognize the power within you and recognize what's moving within you and give all of your energy and attention to that. what's moving in you in a positive direction, what wants to happen for you, and let go of all of those ideas of trying to figure out how it could possibly happen to little old you or little young you or whatever ideas you have about yourself. Let go of all of that stuff and make way for what wants to move in you, and start to cooperate with that and start to move with that, and really let go of resistance, pushing against. You're giving it energy. We're giving it energy when we're pushing against. Flow with what wants to happen, and know that you are greater. The power within you is greater than any external circumstance, and no one can really do anything to you. You are so powerful. Thank you. Let's do this one little affirmation together. If you'll repeat after me, I resist nothing. And then we say, I powerfully claim what is mine. Thank you. Let us turn within for prayer. And so in this moment, in this beautiful now moment, I recognize that one power and presence, that there is only one. There is no opposing power. There is nothing in life opposing me, opposing anyone. There is just the one power, and it is a power for good. It is a power for forward movement, always a power of expansion into the greater and the greater and the greater. And so knowing this one power is that which is within me and is that which within each one of us, I speak this word right now and declare and know that there's a clearing for each one of us, that we see so clearly our power, we see so clearly our creativity, we see so clearly our joy and the love that is our nature. And we begin right now, from this day, we begin to give all of our attention to that truth of our being. And right here and right now, just by the light of our awareness, all of that stuff that is not the truth of us is yielding and giving way and dissolving into the nothingness from whence it came. And all that remains is the glory and splendor of our divinity. I am so grateful for this awareness, for this truth. I am so grateful for all the good that is right now unfolding for each one of us, for all of us collectively, and for this beautiful community called Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral. In gratitude, I release this word to that immutable law. I know it is done just as I have declared, touching and agreeing with each one here, for the law only knows to say yes. And therefore I let it be. We ground it together with the words, and so it is. So let us, thank you. Let us move into our offering. And it's a great opportunity to show gratitude for what we receive from the center. We get so much from being in spiritual community, from spiritual teaching and all that gets offered here at the center. And what else could we possibly do but be in gratitude and give back to that which gives us so much, and then to know that whatever we give comes back to us anyway. It's that non-resist thing, right? It's that giving attention. What we give attention to, when we give, we get so much more back that even logically it makes sense to give as much as we possibly can, because all that's going to happen is God's going to give us 10 times as much back as what we gave anyway. So let's just know that we're here to give, and you can do it in many ways. You can text your donation to 239-320-3820. You can send a gift through PayPal at cslcapecoral.org. You can visit the website, cslcapecoral.org, and go give a donation there, or even set up automatic payments so you don't even have to think about it. Like you got every month, it just comes right out of your account. You know you're supporting your center, and you don't even have to give any thought to it. You can do it in so many different ways, and I really appreciate everyone being here today. Know that we also tithe as Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral, because we know that about the flow as well. And so we give back to our home office, we give to local communities, and some of those are charities like Hearts and Homes for Vets, the Cape Coral Police Department's Children's Program, and the Cape Coral Caring Center that provides food and emergency financial assistance to families in Lee County. All kinds of good when we just do this circulation thing. Circulation is beautiful. So I invite you to hold your tithes between your hands if you have it available, And if not, join me in placing your hands over your heart as we speak our tithing affirmation together. And so let us do this together. Today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. And so it is. And so I just bless these offerings as they come forth today, just knowing that they bless so many. They bless the center. They return back to the giver, heaped up, pressed down, and running over. And so we are just in the flow of life, not resisting anything, giving our attention to that which is our commitment, and life just keeps expanding into the greater and greater. How good it is. Thank you so much, and so it is. Peace and blessings.
Oh, my. Shall we thank Reverend Gregory once again for his marvelous thoughts? Oh, I just love that non-resistance. That's a marvelous, marvelous thought that he gave. Something that probably many of you already know, but to be reminded of it is like, oh yeah, wow, okay. Well, we're going to come up with our announcements now and let you know what's going on here at the center. Today we have a workshop that's going to be going on right after service here. You can grab a beverage and a snack and meet us back in the sanctuary here, or join us on Zoom as Reverend Gregory will be facilitating this wonderful forgiveness workshop from about 11:15 till 1 p.m. And that is cost on a love offering basis. And our next is joining us this evening as we meet on Zoom to discuss the re-imaging. That's a marvelous word, isn't it? Re-imaging of our bookstore space. And we'd love to hear your ideas for the Zoom link. And you can go to our event page at cslcapecoral.org and click on the bookstore meeting that is there. And the link is in the description. Prosperity Consciousness Book Study, Book 4, Can We Talk to God? Marvelous book by Ernest Holmes. Meeting Tuesdays on Zoom from 3:30 to 5, beginning in August. This will be facilitated by Maliga Davi and Linda Lloyd, both practitioners here. It's $30 a month, and you can visit our calendar on cslcapecoral.org or check your email to register. And the new meditation group is starting up here with Karen Gidley is heading that up. She is a practitioner here also. That's going to be on Zoom Wednesday evenings beginning in July, the 14th of July from 6:30 to 7:30 for spiritual reading, meditation, and discussion. A nice little pick-me-up, shall we say. You can visit our calendar there on cslcapecoral.org or check your email to register for that. And Party with a Purpose. Are you ready to party? Oh boy, we're going to dust off those dancing shoes, and they've been in the closet for quite some time now. And enjoy the music stylings of our big band, Big Love Band. And Saturday, July 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. is what it is, so mark your calendars. July 24th. Tickets just $20 and includes, excuse me, your food and drinks. And we are currently accepting donations, too, for chance raffle, shall we say. Please see Melissa Tuff for information on how you can help on that. So mark that up. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Midweek tune-up is still in progress on Wednesdays at 12 noon, outside, weather permitting, and socially distanced with masks being optional, depending upon your thoughts, feelings, and such for that. And the food drive is still continuing on, so bring your non-perishable donations on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 2, or Sunday mornings you can bring them too and put them in the box out there. And we appreciate your continued support. And coffee service is back. That's a nice thing, too, which when we get this pandemic thing over with here, we are bringing back the coffee and a little donut and whatever. Help yourself to some coffee and pastries following a celebration. Donations are appreciated, and they'll be out in the lobby there. And don't miss out without your 1-minute miracles. Practitioners will be available for prayer immediately following the service. And I think that'll do it. And time now for Standing in the Light. If you'd like to stand and join me here. And we will take this time to turn within and just recognize Spirit being all there is, everywhere present, right here, right now. And that is such a good feeling. Good feeling to know. And as we hold individuals in the light, we recognize their wholeness, and we speak only the words that we want for them, and let that be the truth of them, right here and right now. And I'd like to hold Danielle in the light. Sharon, yes. Reagan? Suzanne? Yes. Uncle Jack? Yes, indeed. And as we stand in the light and holding each of us in that prayer, we can speak our own names into this light. John. And recognizing here and now that all are whole, complete, and perfect. That is the real truth of each individual. And we recognize that as the truth for them. We hold that and know that and accept it and allow it to be, and let that flow just flow right through each of us to them. So we just say thank you, God. Thank you for that wonderful outpouring of good. And as we know that to be so, we can say together, and so it is.
Wash over